My name is Byron, President of Louisiana Oystermen's Association and South Plaquemine United Fisheries Cooperative, and the owner of Enkelade Trucking and Fisheries. And right now, some of the things that have came to my attention just within the last few days, a lot of fishermen's compensation money have been cut drastically. We're talking about down to $1,000 a month in some cases, and it's again imposing hardships. We heard from BP and from Mr. Feinberg, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing this one, that there were not going to be any hardships between the transaction from BP to the program, the $20 billion program. Well, of course, BP pulled the plug, like always, the minute they saw the opportunity to cut and run. And now we have fishermen, even though we had some great things happen, with a lot of the community boats have been employed due to the efforts with the parish president and trying to make sure that the local boats are hired, something we asked BP to do from the very beginning. We knew there were going to be scams. Anytime there's money, Katrina taught us that, everybody's going to be in here trying to grab the dollars, and the local people, because of various reasons, were going to be left out. It happened. Didn't have to happen. They were told. They can't say they didn't know. We gave them a comprehensive plan to deal with the compensation, and yet they ignored it. Up until now, we're talking about the 6-month plan. A lot of the suffering and hardships didn't have to happen.
And what is the reason why they're cutting back the funding?
Well, we know the reason is because BP is shifting all the liability on this $20 billion. And it's now we're hearing, besides the vessel of opportunity, clean up, all this have to come out of these funds. And if the fishermen are the last to be served again, that means we're going to get what's left. And here we go, just like Katrina. We have people in our area that took the eye of the hurricane, still living in leaky FEMA trailers, with handicapped people still living in FEMA trailers. And now it's being disbanded. The federal government is even talking about taking back the $400 million that Louisiana has left in a kitty. Rather than take care of its people, they'll risk that money get taken back. And I could understand and agree with the federal government to a point, because if you're going to leave it there and to be used by special interests and get stolen, because that's the way I'm going to use that harsh word, because that's what is going to happen, rather than give it to the people, well, yes, I say tell the federal government take it back, but don't just take it back. Come back and say, we got some people still living in FEMA trailers, let's take care of them. State refused to take care of their responsibility. It should fall on the federal government to say, we know Road Home was a disaster. We know the FEMA program was a disaster. We know the Corps of Engineers put some serious hardships on these people by using Napoleonic law system in Louisiana. So let's make these people right, do the right thing by these people. And also with the fishermen, let's not go down this same road. We know it's going to happen if you don't change the path in which you choose to service people.
And what can people do to help? What do you want people to know, just real quick?
Well, what I want them to know that so far that the state, federal government, nor BP have ever had a plan to deal with this. They had ideas that simply went to taking care of their image. That's what they were focused on. We've got displacement out there in our waters now. The oil hasn't disappeared. It simply left from the surface and went down to the bottom. It's still there, which could cause 10 times the problem or than what we would have had if you'd have just left the oil on top of the surface. We could have dealt with it. So now that idea of thinking that they had a plan or idea, I don't say a plan, they just simply had an idea that simply supported the image they wanted to put out there. And now you've multiplied the damage that you've done to the people physically, mentally, financially, all the way around. So we need the people to be aware of. The oil has stopped. The suffering continues on. And that's not going to stop no time soon. And we don't want BP thinking that they could put a Band-Aid off of this and walk away. It's their responsibility. We must maintain it to be, and we don't want to just hear the words. We want to see the action. We've been hearing words all our lives. So we don't need a political platform by BP. We know better than anybody in the world about sunshine meetings and everything that were invented, I think, here in Louisiana. So don't come here thinking that you could tell people one thing all the while doing something different. It's not going to happen. So we need the people in this country to be aware that it affects everybody. Everybody, this is natural resources that we have. God has blessed us with this. And every person in the United States of America are entitled to enjoy that what God has blessed Louisiana, Alabama, Texas, Mississippi, and Florida with, because we are part of a whole. And when you destroy this, you're taking food off of the American people's plates at a reasonable cost. Now, it would be a hard thing that a college kid can't go sit down and buy decent quality seafood for a reasonable price. If you continue down this road, we're going to eliminate our college kids, people with fixed income, low income. In other words, if you're not going to make over $100,000, $150,000 a year, you're not going to be able to afford to eat a plate of seafood in this country. And if you do, it's going to come from somewhere else. The quality is going to be nowhere near what it is here. And then you're still going to pay a price for that foreign seafood because now you're being held hostage. So, anyway, I think they call him from there.